My children, what do we have?
Good morning, Minnesota DFLers, and welcome to the DFL Daily. Richard Carlbaum here, chair of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My husband and I had a great Thanksgiving, spending time with his family and my family over the weekend. And my niece and nephews are absolutely, I can confirm, obsessed with this whole 6-7 thing. I've heard about it for a while, but I was fully immersed in a weird conversation. And when I asked them what it meant, they said only YouTube knows what it means. So now I need to go to consult YouTube, I guess. We have a number of events tied to our Mittens and Meals DFL Weekend of Service coming up this weekend, December 5th and 6th. Local units are collecting coats, donating meals, and organizing other projects to offset the harm the GOP is doing to Minnesotans and their basic needs. This is what I would ask all of you to help focus on this week and this coming weekend. Spread the word to your local units, and let's help our neighbors. Starting today, Congressional District 6 is hosting a coat drive. You can drop off coats at the St. Cloud DFL office or here in St. Paul at DFL headquarters. On Thursday from 9 to 11 a.m., a group of volunteers will be repacking, sorting, and labeling food at Second Harvest Northland in Duluth. Please join them if you're available. CD4 and CD5 are having a 2-day food drive this Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, you can drop off food in Minneapolis, and on Sunday, you can drop off food in St. Paul. We'll put the links in the chat for you. Also on Saturday and Sunday, the DFL is having a food drive for the Open Door Pantry in the South Metro. On Saturday in Mankato, we're hosting a food drive as well. Also on Saturday in Bemidji, we are helping the Nameless Coalition collect winter gear that will be delivered to those who need it. This is a hard time for many of our neighbors, and the DFL is going to be working to alleviate as much suffering as we can in the coming months. Please join us. All of these events and more can be found at dfl.org/events and on Mobilize. Of course, always add yours to the chat so we can mention them here on the DFL Daily. Okay, let's get to it. We're going to talk about it, folks. It's fraud. On Thanksgiving night, while millions were enjoying precious time with their families, Donald Trump took to Twitter to write the next beat in his targeted attack against our Minnesota communities. Let me be clear. The DFL stands for responsible use of tax dollars and protecting working families. Many Minnesotans are concerned about fraud, and we're taking action to protect taxpayers. Governor Walz is drawing a firm line against fraudulent actions targeting state government programs, strengthening safeguards to protect our tax dollars, and it's working. Fraud is being stopped, and fraudsters are getting caught. Democrats at every level are fighting hard against fraud and shutting down schemes before they even start. No one wants fraud to happen. No one. And when it happens, people should be prosecuted. DFLers are taking fraud seriously as a real threat to families and crucial programs that exist. Governor Walz created Minnesota's first ever centralized fraud investigations unit at the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. He has intensified efforts to prevent, detect, and combat fraud across state agencies. Governor Walz's zero-tolerance approach has launched dozens of new investigations, paving the way for prosecutions. He is determined to put fraudsters behind bars. Attorney General Ellison's office is tackling the state's largest ever Medicaid fraud prosecution and shutting down fraudulent nonprofits. He has already won back millions of dollars, $18 million for Medicaid fraud, and is going after another $11 million more in the state's largest ever Medicaid fraud prosecution. Under DFL control, the Minnesota legislature has expanded how state agencies can work together to stop fraud. Along with Governor Walz, the Minnesota legislature more than doubled the attorney general's staff to stop fraud. This has been critical in prosecuting recent fraud cases. Let me be clear. While fraud is bad, the programs are absolutely critical to the health and wellness of Minnesotans. Many of these programs were created during the pandemic to help meet the real needs of Minnesotans who are losing access to food and housing. Unfortunately, today, due to the affordability crisis, these programs are more necessary than ever. We can and will root out fraud while protecting the future of these critical programs. Which brings me to my next point. Republicans have done nothing on this issue, absolutely nothing. In fact, they voted against many of the measures the DFL supports and that I just mentioned. They voted against them. Their House Fraud Oversight Committee has passed 0 bills and didn't uncover a damn thing. They didn't even hold a hearing on fraud during the last session. Where are they? They certainly aren't around doing the work of preventing fraud. Worse, when members of their own party were involved in wrongdoing, they protected them instead of protecting Minnesotans. They speak up only when it serves them. The one thing the GOP is doing right now is making racist and baseless generalizations against an entire community. Instead, it's been Governor Walz and Democrats in the legislature who have done the work to help uncover the fraud and help prosecute those who committed the crimes. As I said up front, no one wants fraud to happen. No one. Crimes are committed and people are going to jail. Crimes were committed and people are going to jail, as they should be. Here's what we stand for, and here's where we'll make life better for Minnesotans. We're never going to stop trying to help Minnesotans who are in need of some help from their neighbors. And if someone tries to rip us all off while we're helping those who need it, we're going to find them and put them in jail. We're going to keep finding ways to make life more affordable for all Minnesotans. And we're not going to blame entire communities for the actions of just a few people. Minnesota Republicans own that harmful agenda. We can protect tax dollars without scapegoating an entire community. And we're going to hold accountable all the Republicans who support an economic system that is failing too many Minnesotans and too many Americans. This is where we stand, and this is where we will continue to stand. We will never back down from trying to make life better for Minnesotans. So here's our call to action. It's pretty simple but effective. Go to dfl.org/daily and share the message that DFLers take fraud seriously and are committing to rooting it out so that these critical programs can continue to serve the people in need, and make clear the DFL will never apologize for helping Minnesotans in need. Also, I want to let you know that you can email website@dfl.org, and we're going to have our message memo coming out this week later today. If you email website@dfl.org, we'll make sure that we get you on our message memo list so you can have our talking points as it relates to the fraud issue here in Minnesota. Make sure that you share all these social media posts with your local unit and all of your social media networks. Okay, folks, 337 days, 9 hours and 7 minutes until the midterm elections. Polls close in the midterm elections in November 2026. Let's go win this thing. Thanks, everybody.